Welcome to the Newark Regional Business Partnerships Engage and Exchange podcast. Join us for business insights and meaningful conversations with NRBP's member organizations. Thank you to our podcast host sponsor, the Martin Tuchman School of Management at NJIT. Additional support for NRBP's Engage and Exchange podcast is provided by PSEG, New Jersey Urban News, Main Street Advisory, LLC. Hello, I'm Ferlanda Fox Nixon, President and CEO of the Newark Regional Business Partnership. Today's guest is Kabri Dennis, owner and founder of Kmonae Kompany. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're excited to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So where do I start? I could take you guys all the way back to the beginning. I was born in Greenville, South Carolina. A lot of people are surprised to find that out when they meet me, just being here in Newark. But I was born and raised in Greenville, South Carolina. I went to school in Charlotte, North Carolina at Johnson & Wales University, and I got my degree in fashion merchandising and retail marketing. And 2 years after that, I decided to move to Newark, New Jersey. But the backstory of how I even got to Newark is because my family is actually from Newark.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So a lot of people will ask me, like, how did you get here? Why did you come to Newark, like, from the South? And I just let them know, like, I knew I wanted to be in North Jersey or New York. So we'll probably get into that story a little bit more later, but Newark just happened to be the first option when I was looking for jobs. And so I found myself here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now tell us about your company, Kmonae Kompany.
So Kmonae Kompany was birthed from me always wanting to create, really. I started a blog when I was in college, and I used to think of it like those blogs back in the day when you would see like what someone's wearing, like she's wearing this, this gown, she's wearing this dress, like what they wore to the award show. So I would talk about what people were wearing. I would talk about what I'm wearing. I would talk about what I like to eat, where I like to go, where I like to travel. And that blog birthed so many opportunities. So posting that content got people interested in how they could utilize that sort of content in their business model. So one of my very first clients before Kmonae Kompany was a thing was just pretty much interested in social media. Okay. Back in probably 2016, 2015. So started getting into social media marketing from there, copywriting, of course, with the blog. And honestly, I put all of those different aspects together, being creative, writing, and creating content. I put it all together, and then you get Kmonae Kompany. And, from growing with the times, influencer marketing quickly became one of the key services that I offer.
Describe your ideal client or your typical client.
So my ideal client is someone who is in the fashion, lifestyle, beauty, food and beverage even. I'm really open to the different industries. Someone who needs assistance in telling their story. Okay. So a lot of times the businesses, they have their clientele already. They have a structure. They have scaled their business. However, they need some assistance in telling that story and also telling it to their audience in a way that is marketable, in a way that is true and authentic to the brand and their mission. So that's my ideal client.
Okay. And so do you have any success stories you'd like to share?
I have plenty. I was sitting here thinking about that. And honestly, I want to say that my success stories would just be brands in general that have trusted me with their vision. That is a big thing to do when you give someone your idea and your need and you say, go, do what you need to do. And also hoping for a return, hoping for a response from their audience. So I would say my success story is all of the brands that I've worked with, all of the brands that trusted me to, whether it be creating a piece of content for their social media, a video, a blog, an article, a campaign. I am very grateful, and I attributed my success to every single person who has trusted me with that, with their vision.
So as a newcomer, like you weren't born and raised in Newark, so how are you finding the city embracing you and your vision for your business?
OMG. My experience has been pleasant. My experience has been great. I came here back in 2020, January 2020. So that was a time when we didn't know what was going to happen. So we were hearing rumors about a pandemic. We were hearing rumors about just different things that are happening. And I was like, I'm here. I just got a new job. And I was just looking for an opportunity different from being in the South. Things are just not the same. There's an obvious difference. And so that embrace was like none other. Even in a time when we were not able to communicate and engage how we would typically do. So I went through that time and I felt embraced. I was able to connect with certain individuals who saw what I was doing on social media. Do not downplay the power of a hashtag. So that is honestly how I was able to connect with folks when I first got here. And I was embraced digitally at first. And once we were able to get back to the swing of things, I was embraced in a big way.
Very good. Now, for some businesses that are reluctant to really dive into social media, how do you, what is your pitch to get them to understand the impact and significance of social media taking their business to the next level?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Social media marketing isn't always the first line item. When you're running a business, you're like, okay, that could come last. And I always tell people who are running their business, especially small businesses, let's just take some time to educate ourselves. So I like to educate. I like to tell them like, hey, this is what is possible, even with this budget. Sometimes people look at what other businesses and companies and corporations are doing, these big campaigns, but you can do a lot with a little. And so I like to educate small businesses, medium-sized businesses, or even businesses who just haven't thought about incorporating social media marketing or influencer marketing. I'm always there. I like to say there to help them find their social media sweet spot because you don't know it until you see it. So that beginning process of building that relationship is all about me educating and teaching them what could be possible through posting video testimonials and posting, having influencers share their experience from, going to their restaurant or doing a mini campaign and getting clean images that, didn't cost an arm and a leg, but now you can use these images and you can recycle them. So there's all these different things that you can do. And I like to just educate businesses on that.
That's great. So I'm going to close out with you talking to us about your NRBP experience. You're relatively new member of the organization. How has your experience been?
My experience has been phenomenal. They did not pay me to say this. My experience, I'm going to vouch for NRBP. I love that you guys are not a program that is just there. You know, there's so many programs that you can just sign up for, and you're just there as a name on a list. This is not that program. So I am so grateful. From the time that I joined till now, I have had so much like growth. Number one, so much growth, so much opportunities. I mean, they're just flooding me, honestly, with everything that I said that I needed as a growing small business, everything that I said that I needed in that initial conversation, in those initial meetings, that is all happening for me. So I am so grateful, you know, for you, Furlanda, for the whole NRBP team. Everyone has just taken my breath away.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes.
And we hope to continue to take people's breaths away by ending with a inspirational quote. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs. And that is from Farrah Gray. She's an entrepreneur, investor, and author. She's also a self-made millionaire. Thank you. Thank you for listening to NRBP's Engage in Exchange podcast. Tune in next time for more NRBP member organization insights. For more information about our organization, visit www.newarkrbp.org. Thank you again to our podcast host sponsor, the Martin Tuchman School of Management at NJIT. Additional support for NRBP's Engage in Exchange podcast is provided by PSEG, New Jersey Urban News, Main Street Advisory, LLC.